It's the Todd and Erin morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. I know what you're saying. You said, Todd, Erin, can you please show me 76,017 dominoes falling at the same time?
Really? I want to see that.
Well, I thought we'd start off this morning with a little eye candy. The thing in the middle is called the bomb.
The circle bomb.
Right,
Last piece
circle
to
bomb.
topple.
And look out.
Look at this kid jump. That is so cute.
Took him 7 days.
Oh, I can only imagine. This is the incredible science machine team, and they wanted to break the record because they wanted to teach kids that STEM activities are actually fun, all the science activities. No, I think that's cool.
No, it's great.
Besides, they also wanted to encourage domino toppling, which I'm like, okay, that's good.
They're never going to get a date.
You never know. Maybe there's girls that like dominoes.
76,017 dominoes?
That's pretty tiring. Can you imagine being the person who accidentally toppled something halfway through the process? They would set you on fire.
I don't want to let you know that I'm a nerd, but actually what they do is they actually have vertical pieces of wood and they take a couple out and they slide it in just in case.
You are a nerd.
It's true.
All right, Bill himself is in studio today. He was interviewing someone really interesting. It's Dr. Catherine Allen. Now, she's going to be running against Jason Chaffetz in the 3rd Congressional District. And do you guys have the accordion footage? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there she is.
She's awesome. She's a physician mom. She's a small businesswoman. She plays the accordion. And Bill himself is going to interview her today about why she decided to take on Jason Chaffetz for the next congressional district run.
It's an exclusive, by the way.
It is an exclusive. And an exclusive accordion, which is even cooler.
We are now going to warn you, 2017, cars not to buy.
Now, this is Consumer Reports, which is a pretty venerable institution.
Right.
Big deal. They don't take reviews from anybody. They don't take any bribes, so they're supposed to be pretty good.
Don't buy. Oh, by the way, the Honda Civic still rates #1 for the most stolen car in America.
Thank you for that random
All right, first car we shouldn't buy.
The Mitsubishi Mirage. It looks like a pleasant little car, but apparently it has a thrifty 37 miles per gallon overall.
That's good.
But enhancements for 2017 don't mask the weak, vibrating 3-cylinder engine that delivers sluggish acceleration and clumsy roly-poly handling.
That's not a scientific word. Roly-poly is not a scientific word.
It seems like rather haughty reviews.
The steering is a little iffy.
Okay, the compact electric hybrid from Mitsubishi. This is the i-MIEV, because it sounds so much more scientific.
Sounds fast, doesn't it?
It looks like a little golf cart-ish.
It does look like a golf cart.
This is interesting. They say it's one of the least expensive all-electric cars available, but it's an underdeveloped car that is slow, clumsy, and stiff riding with a plebeian cabin.
I don't even know what that is.
It takes
What's plebeian?
Plebeian, it's like, lower class.
Can I have this now?
Oh, okay.
It's an electric car, which is good. It does take 6 to 7 hours to charge the battery. So that's not too bad. But if you use a regular outlet, it takes like 24 hours.
Oh, yay, that's good, which is what pretty much everybody has. How long does it drive on a charge?
Well, it's not a daily driving car. It's an every other daily driving car.
Why?
On one charge, you can go 60 miles.
That's it?
So downtown Salt Lake City to Grantsville, coming back, someplace along the way, you're going to run out of electricity and then have to be towed.
That's pitiful.
Another
really?
one. Don't buy
60 miles?
Yeah.
That's pathetic. Okay, nothing can be wrong with a Chrysler, right? Apparently wrong. This category is overflowing with competent, even excellent alternatives to this hideous car.
This is the Chrysler 200.
Handling is clumsy, the ride is unsettled, and the 4-cylinder engine is underwhelming. The transmission is uncooperative and has proven to be a reliability albatross.
Excuse me. The transmission is what?
It's uncooperative, and it's been proven to be an unreliability albatross.
What does that even mean?
This is extremely haughty language. I'm really kind of enjoying it. Okay, the next one is, what could be wrong with
Maserati.
a Maserati?
Right.
A Maserati is it's a Maserati.
Right.
Well, they say that handling is sporty and agile, and the brakes are strong. Engine emits a thrilling bark.
So far, so good.
But the fuel economy from the Ferrari-developed V6 Turbo is dismal. The stiff ride can grow fatiguing. And the rear seat is cramped. Okay.
But it's a Maserati.
Oh.
It goes fast.
Oh, we should just move on now. We don't need to talk about this anymore. We don't need to talk about it anymore.
Really? My truck? The Toyota Tacoma?
We don't need to talk about it anymore, sweetie. We're done now.
Go ahead and read it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The Tacoma is rough and tumble as it always has been.
Right?
Complete with impressive off-road prowess.
See?
Huh? But there's no escaping this is a primitive truck. Despite the recent redesign, the ride remains stiff, Handling is ponderous, the cabin is loud, and the driving position is still awkward.
It's a truck.
Ultimately, the electronic niceties do not overcome this truck's shortcomings. First-year reliability has been disappointing.
Screw you. That's all I'm going to say.
We don't need to talk
Thank
about this
you,
anymore.
hon. Thanks for supporting
That's
me.
fine. That's
10
fine.
worst cars to buy.
Okay, I don't know if you've been obsessively watching the congressional hearings about the new Supreme
Excuse
Court
me.
nominee, Neil
You
Gorsuch.
don't know if I?
I was talking to them, honey.
Oh.
I can't get you off CNN. Really, seriously. But if you've been watching, it's interesting because, I mean, this is a guy who's guiding, the court.
The Supreme Court.
Yeah, I mean, that's really crucial. So you'd be thinking probably past decisions, maybe some of his court history, his views on morality and other issues, perhaps.
He looks like Anthony Bourdain.
I like him. Perhaps some of
Right.
his social concerns, where
Right.
he sees the future of the country.
Now, some of the people have been grilling him really hard, like Al Franken.
Yeah,
Just
he's
like,
been on it. Yeah.
Cases that he's solved and
Sure.
he's judged on. And then some people are a little more, I don't know, casual.
Laissez-faire, yeah. For instance, Senator Jeff Flake, there's a man who lives up to his name.
Right.
He basically asked this: would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or a horse-sized duck?
We didn't have to look so far for this meme.
Apparently, it's right up there.
Everywhere.
So, you really seriously asked the future Supreme Court justice of our country whether he'd fight 100 duck-sized horses or a horse-sized duck.
All right.
Now, here's the true horror of the situation.
Go ahead.
This has actually spread so far now that even Bill Nye the Science Guy himself,
Oh, no.
Dr. Nye, had to weigh in on this.
All
And he
right.
said a horse-sized duck would probably collapse on itself, and a duck-sized horse would freeze to death because of their size.
That's just nitpicking.
So which one would you fight?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
You go first.
Probably the little duck-sized horses, because then you could roll them over on their back and tickle their bellies, and they have those little round bellies. They're
And
really
little
cute.
hooves.
You get the hooves.
And then-
if the hooves couldn't pinch, they'd be that small.
Then the gigantic duck. Well, first of all, horses can't climb ladders. Think of that.
Yeah, there's.
I wonder what the duck tastes like.
What is wrong with you?
It's huge.
What kind of a man are you?
You can invite every single person to a barbecue.
What kind of a human being are you? You cannot eat a horse-sized duck.
B.O.B., bring your own barbecue sauce.
It's like I don't even know who you are anymore.
You know how big the feathers would be?
All right, let's go to Daisy in the newsroom, Gephardt Daily Newsroom. Maybe she can help us out. News is brought to you, of course, by Robert J. DeBry. Robert J. DeBry has offices in Salt Lake City, Sandy City, and down in St. George. If you have some issues you want to talk to them about, just go to robertdebry.com. Also brought to you by our dear friend at Executive Transportation. If you want perfect white glove service from the most pristine cars in Utah, you want to go to executiveutah.com. Daisy, what's going on, my dear?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Here's what's making news Friday in the Gephardt Daily newsroom on GephardtDaily.com. The outpouring of grief continues for the West Bountiful, Utah couple caught in Wednesday's terror attack in London. Kurt W. Cochran, 54, died in the melee. His wife, Melissa, was seriously injured. The couple had spent the last 2 weeks in Europe celebrating their 25th anniversary. They were also visiting Melissa's parents, who serve as missionaries to the LDS Church's London Temple. The Cochrans are well known in Utah's music scene around the Onion Street recordings rehearsal studio from their home in West Bountiful. And Utah now boasts the toughest DUI law in the nation. Governor Gary Herbert signed legislation Thursday officially lowering the state's legal blood alcohol for drivers at 0.5%. The measure has been roundly criticized by bar, tavern, and restaurant owners who say the measure is far too strict. Proponents of the bill, however, say it stands to save lives. The law goes into effect at the end of 2018, which the governor says will give legislators time to study and fine-tune the law. And it is now legal for 18-year-olds to obtain a concealed weapons permit in the state of Utah. House Bill 198 lowered the age from 21 to 18 by way of a conditional permit. Supporters of the law say the bill would allow responsible young adults to carry weapons as a means of personal protection. Critics say it risks putting firearms in the hands of those without the necessary judgment to use them safely. And now a quick look at weather, where lingering snow showers like these captured in Park City yesterday are giving way to clear skies and warmer temperatures. The highs Friday in the low to mid 60s. The weekend will bring more rain, however, and a dip in high temperatures to the mid 50s. That's it for today's headlines. For more news 24/7, go to gebhardtdaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, so let's talk about tweets. Everybody's getting in trouble with tweets these days. And I think now it's spread to the sporting world.
Well, God bless Christy Yamaguchi, because I know her intentions are good. Do you remember that one epic photo? It was the medals platform. It had Christy Yamaguchi on it, Nancy Kerrigan, Tonya Harding.
Who hit who?
Tonya Harding's creepy boyfriend hired someone to whack Nancy Kerrigan's knee with a metal rod.
With a pipe.
Really brutal, so that they could, ideally, I guess, take her out of the competition.
With a pipe.
Why do you have that?
This is in celebration of the .05 liquor law that was signed.
Okay.
And to point out, the news staff, when they're not on duty, there's this much left. That's all I'm going to say.
That's the kind of
when they're
newsroom,
off
ladies
duty.
and
Okay,
gentlemen.
so back to skating. I'm
All
sorry.
right, can you guys put this tweet up, because this is freaking epic. Christy Yamaguchi found out that Nancy Kerrigan was going to be on Dancing with the Stars. That opened this week. Now listen to this. So excited for you, Nancy A. Kerrigan. Can't wait to see you grace that ballroom floor. Break a leg. You just told Nancy
Kerrigan to
break a
leg. Wow. How long did that stay up?
She had to take it down within the hour, but of course there were enough screen captures by then that we all got to enjoy it.
All right, so what do we have coming up next? Coming up next, Easter. Easter and Christmas. They're getting closer together. We'll tell you why coming up.
Merit Medical. Why work for fast food wages when you can start at Merit for a whole lot more? Merit Medical. Great products, great people, a great company. Learn more at merit.com/careers. The law offices of Robert J. DeBry and Associates, with offices in Salt Lake City, Sandy City, and St. George. Check them out at robertdebry.com.
Todd and Erin, Morning Stream, GephartDaily.com. Easter is getting closer as a celebration, money spent, to Christmas.
Easter is becoming the new Christmas, although Halloween is actually the second holiday that's got the highest spending, because, come on, holiday is my favorite. For Halloween, that's my favorite holiday, because, look, you get to dress up, you get to eat all the treats you want, you get to decorate, but you don't have to go out and shop or buy any presents. It's like all the best things.
The candy's free.
Together.
The candy's free, isn't it?
Yeah, but now Easter, though, everyone's starting to get really up in that, and they're like all about the wreaths and all the decorations. And you got to get all the epic clothes for the kids and the adorable little hats.
I blame Pinterest.
Yeah.
Because now they're pushing the fact that they have to be more dressed up.
I have like 6 different Easter boards on Pinterest.
I know.
Yeah. Well, and I have to keep them all up, which each one is like having a small child all over again, because there's so many different things.
And the big thing this year, it's kind of new, and I asked Daisy, because she has that funny accent because she's from England, what a cracker was. Now, how to explain this? If you've ever watched an English movie, Notting Hill with him,
Hugh
Grant, right?
Hugh Grant.
And they're having a birthday party, and they all wear those little tissue hats, because I don't know why. And then they all pull up a thing that looks like a toilet tube, and you pull the ends, and it snaps, and then you have something really disappointing.
There's little confettis and bits and things in there.
So those are big this year.
Easter crackers.
Easter crackers.
I did not know that.
I know.
I got to go put that on my Pinterest board
Don't
right now.
put it on your Pinterest board.
I had no idea.
People have gone crazy.
Oh, I can't blame them. Pinterest has changed all of our lives and has made us feel all more inadequate.
State troopers have been busy.
This is the most awesome thing ever. Now, these 2 state troopers were coming back from a seminar.
The seminar and the conference was discussing the fact that large quantities of drugs were being transported.
They had just done this big press conference here along the Wasatch Front that Utah Police, the Unified Police Force, Utah Highway Patrol, they have been pulling over more people than ever and doing massive drug busts this year, and it's really been quite successful.
And so they did the conference. They all talked about different things, and on the way home, they pulled a guy over. He had 100 pounds of pot.
Plus, just a ton of meth, which is why he was driving a little, erratically.
And fast.
A little fast.
So,
but it was just a sort of a pleasing symmetry.
So I think the person who had the seminar and put it on should get a bonus.
It seems fair.
Because the memory is fresh. They pulled the car over and they got all the goods. So congratulations.
Now, what's this about shelter dogs and the TSA, National Air Force
Oh,
Security?
this is so cool. So shelter dogs, they have trained dogs looking for drugs. And they're looking
Explosives
for
and
explosives, and they're trained because dogs have, 20 times the more sensitive nose thing. And so someone had an idea, and they went down to the shelter, the animal shelter. And the guy knew he adopted the dog. He took the dog home. And if you know beagles, if there's poo somewhere, they're going to roll in it because of their nose. It's true. It's true. And so they said,
Probably.
what can we do with this? Because this dog has such a keen sense of smell. And so they trained the dogs to go down and they would sniff out food that you're not allowed to bring in the country, or vegetables or plants.
Oh.
And the dog is a champion. He's got a job. He's earning his pay.
But one of the other things they're doing, though, which I really love, is they're also having therapy pets from the shelter come out to the airport now. Because if there is anything more stressful than flying these days, I do not know what it is. So they actually have therapy dogs where you can chill out a little bit. And I think for the TSA, especially for the agents, I'm sure they're extremely grateful. Because patting down a 300 guy with BO is probably got to be like the least fun thing of the day.
BO shaming. Shame on you.
All I'm saying
But
is
you know what we need? Because that's such a great story,
it's National Puppy Day.
there's only one way to top that off.
National Puppy Day.
Let's go to the puppy cam.
Look how cute they are. Thank you, Brandon. Look at those are the Great Dane puppies. Are they the most precious things you've ever seen?
They are.
It is National Puppy Day, and since we were talking shelter dogs, maybe consider a visit to the shelter, maybe adopting something.
We could do that.
Zoe was really on that yesterday. We have to go adopt a dog. They said to at school. I went, we have one. She goes, no, we have to adopt one now. And I went,
Don't listen
baby,
to your
we
kids.
we got one.
All right. So,
Really?
so what we're going to do now is we are going
Nothing
to...
Bundt Cakes.
Oh,
Now, this
Nothing
is
Bundt
exciting.
Cakes.
They're about to have their 9th anniversary. April has been in business now 9 years. I can't believe it. I helped her open that store back 9 years ago. 10389 South State Street. Now, if you've never been in there, there's nothing more decadent, more luscious, more glorious than Nothing Bundt Cakes. The rich, delicious, thick Bundt Cakes. And then they have the wonderful cream cheese frosting. Now, the loveliest part about this is not only can April deliver up and down the Wasatch Front, but there's all these different sizes and kinds, and they can decorate them and make them adorable. And then for the 9th anniversary, next Saturday, on April 1st, 25% off all the retail. You can sign up to win a free buntlet every month for a year. It's a buy one, get one free buntlet situation. It's everything you could possibly want. So it's Nothing Bundt Cakes, 10389 South State Street.
Ah! What? What?
Where do you come from?
What? Just here?
You were in the back seat of the car last night. What is wrong with you?
I know. That's where I slept. The
Yeah,
back seat of the car
yeah.
last night.
Free French fries back there for
Yes,
the kids,
there
right?
were. Yes,
Bill
there were.
Gephardt is here because we teased this at the beginning. Accordion playing politician.
That's right. What is the difference between Dr. Catherine Allen and Rosie O'Donnell?
I don't know.
Well, the answer is one you've never heard of, but you soon will because she's running for the U.S. House out of Utah. And the other you've heard of and is behind about $500,000 raising money so far, even though you've never heard of her,
It's
just
Wow.
coming from Rosie O'Donnell.
Because she's
into
got
her
over 1 million
coffers.
Twitter followers, so I guess she's got some spread
already,
here, right?
Already, isn't that something? Anyway,
Wow.
why would someone who has a perfectly successful career in medicine want to run for the U.S. House of Representatives? In this exclusive interview, take a look.
We've never heard of you before. What got you all fired up to jump into this thing?
Well, I would say it was the election, like it is for most people. I became an instant activist overnight.
Have you been politically involved before?
I have been in the Utah Medical Association, where I was active for more than 25 years.
What are you going to do? I mean, you're fired up and you're doing this thing and you're apparently committed and apparently you've been encouraged. What's that?
One of my friends on Facebook, whom I've never met in person, asked me if I had a Twitter handle, and I said, yeah, but I don't really know how to use Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't know how to light a fire under people on Twitter. And she said, I'm going to do it for you. So she just put this announcement that Chaffetz had a Democratic contender, and it started going around. And I woke up the next morning and I saw the story about the iPhones. I saw it and I thought, well, I'll try being a Twitter person. So I wrote a tweet and it said, iPhone versus healthcare, people need to make a choice. And then I wrote, yes, Jason, they do. And I put my CrowdPack page on. before that tweet hit. And then the next thing I know, Rosie O'Donnell tweeted it to 1 million people. And then the next couple of days was kind of insane. Just having money kept rolling in.
So what are we up to now? And it's $400,000 or $500,000 now,
It's
right?
$520,000.
And but more important, from how many people?
Over 10,000, I think.
Wow.
The average donation is less than $35.
You were running for Congress in an area that's very Republican.
Yes.
And have you been encouraged, discouraged?
I've heard a lot of it's impossible. And I've heard some it might be possible if you have a strategic campaign and you can reach out to different coalitions of people, if you can reach out to independents and unaffiliated voters and moderate Republicans, that you might have a chance. The strategy is I'm meeting my team for the first time. Because when this happened, my husband and I were at our second home. So I didn't have any easy way to meet people in person. So I started collecting team members kind of on the internet.
What are you passionate about with regard to
I
your
think
political
health
future?
care, because I've been in the trenches with my patients. I've experienced what it's like to not have insurance for those people. And I've experienced it from a doctor point of view. It's a moral conflict to know that you should be doing something more for people and they can't afford it. And you have no resources, and neither do they.
Just go to the emergency room.
That is what people used to do. And if that comes back, we will be reminded of a very sad lesson. That's very expensive health care that every taxpayer ends up paying for. Our country is way behind other developed countries in terms of health care, I believe. Everyone should have health care.
As a right.
I think it's a right, yes, I will say that. I also feel strongly about the environment. Air pollution is toxic to adults and to children.
You call yourself a science candidate?
Oh, yes.
Science is obvious, isn't it? I mean, why do you have to take a position on science?
Because it's not very popular right now.
Really?
I think that the counter idea is that if you repeat something 30 million times, that it becomes truth. That's the antithesis of science.
And climate change?
Climate change, I totally believe in climate change. I can't understand why anyone...
Is it a belief for you?
No, it's...
Because you said, I believe in climate change.
Well,
and
that's
man
just-
created climate change, right?
That's what most of the scientific evidence says, yes. It's almost always a question of science with me. There might be some faith-based attitudes that I have that are a little out of the realm of science, but most of my life is grounded in science.
Are you a liberal? Are you a conservative? Are you somewhere in between? What are you?
I'm pretty liberal on most social issues. I tend to be a little bit more conservative with money. I mean, I don't run up big debt in my personal life, and I was a small business owner, and I managed that for 25 years to survive in small business.
Okay.
So I have some more moderate positions, but I believe in...
Women's health, women's right to choose.
I believe in that everyone has human dignity and rights. I think Muslim bans are racist.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the LGBTQ community should have the same rights as everybody else. If you want to be silly, sometimes I joke that they should have the right to marriage so that they can be just as miserable as the rest of us.
That's right. Exactly right. What do you think of the Democratic Party in Utah? Are they being encouraging?
Well, I just met with one of them a few hours ago, and she laid out for me what my task is. It was something like I need to get 88,000 votes beyond what was done in the last election. I need to persuade 88,000 people to vote for me. So yes, I've gotten some support from them. The overall party, I think, could use some energy infusion.
Is that you? The energy infusion, you and your people?
I think it is. I think the reason people get excited about this, besides the money, is they see hope. That there's some person in Utah that could generate enough money and enthusiasm to take out somebody like Jason Chaffetz.
Oh, nice job.
Thank you. You know what? She was so hospitable to bring her into
Right.
the home there to do that interview. So
She's not like on the radar until now.
I'm not even sure she's on the radar. I think she's
Right.
going to be on the radar when we start seeing some political advertising and things
Right.
like that.
You know, Dr. Allen seems very sweet, but she does seem a little shy and reserved. Do you think she can take on? Because it's pretty rough in
Sure
politics.
she
Do you think,
can.
Yeah?
Oh, sure she can. She's a very nice person. They're involved in the arts.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband, in fact, was a career percussionist with the Philharmonic
Wow.
here in Utah, and they're great people. Matter of fact, she is a bit of a musician herself.
Really?
We
Really?
may, if she wins, have somebody who can entertain everybody with an accordion
Really?
in the house. We'll see. Yeah, take a look. So,
Wow.
yeah, so she said, let me practice first. She said, let me practice first. And I didn't let her practice first. And there she is, and she went through a couple of tunes for us.
Look at
And
those fingers go.
she's also in a chorus. I can't remember the name of the
sings
chorus.
as well?
And she does a lot of stuff. And now she's running for Congress.
You know, it's funny when we were doing your teas last night. People were going on Facebook and going, "That was my doctor," or "She helped me
yeah,
birth
right.
my
Oh,
baby."
really?
It was
Right.
really sweet.
Right.
Yeah, so she's got a good rep with her patients at
Yep,
least.
and
Alright.
yep,
So, Bill,
Yeah.
we'd like to end the show with something that's fun,
yeah,
something that's amusing.
yeah.
And by the way, if you don't see it right now or later today, you can check it out.
Yeah, always go to getpartdaily.com. You can binge watch all of your stuff throughout the week if you've been too busy to catch it. If there's a video you want to share with one of your friends, it's all there as well. Now, Bill, you're the grandfather of twin boys, and of course, Todd and I have twin boys.
Yes.
And so you know the havoc they can wreak.
Oh, yes.
You
Oh,
know
yes.
what they can
Oh,
do.
yes, sure.
They're like flying monkeys of death, right?
Well, sort of, yeah. Okay, yeah, there
All
you
right,
are.
so here's the
Have a look at
situation. We have a night cam in the twins' room at night when they're supposed to be sleeping, and we all know that this is what happens for real. Oh, man. And you know that happens.
This is so our twins. These are probably so your grandkids.
Well, my grandkids have that exact same camera. It looks like the same
Really?
camera, yeah. It just sits there and watches them, and you can monitor them, and it's, you know.
Realize what they do.
And they
all
finally
night.
put themselves back in bed and go to bed and sleep. And he wonders why they're so cranky in the morning.
Yeah.
That's why. All right, we want to thank you for being with us. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream on GetPartDaily.com and Mr. Bill Gephardt.
Pleasure to be here, as always.
Thanks for being
Yep.
here. We'll see you Monday. Once again, where can they see everything?
Oh, just go to getpartdaily.com. Everything is there. You can binge watch. You can show your friends all the cute videos. If you're a patient of Dr. Catherine Allen's, you can see the interview with Bill himself.
All
Have
right.
a good weekend.